We had exactly 2 hours before the Iron Fang's boots hit the dirt. Outnumbered 10 to 1, with nothing but 5 mechs and a factory full of tractors. But my Aztechs, hammer and spark, they didn't see tractors. They saw 80-ton mobile weapon platforms that just happened to be missing their teeth. We opened the leopard spare parts bin, stuff we'd scavenged from 6 systems, and started welding. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't Starner spec. It looked like a junkyard had a fever dream. But when those factory workers picked up heavy wrenches and stood beside us, I knew the Iron Fangs were in for a very bad day. Hammer had the torch and Spark had the crane, working through the grease and the industrial rain. We stripped the harvesters, we stripped the plows, making a promise with our mercenary vows. A spare PPC on a forestry arm, ready to cause some Steiner grade harmony. C10 bolted to a grain loader's chest, putting the Warren's logic to the test. They weren't elegant and they weren't fast, but they had more armor than a fortress could cast. The factory workers with a fire in their eyes said, no corporate killer's gonna make our home die. They climbed in the cockpits, they gripped the controls with the weight of the orchard in their commoner souls. Even the Aztechs took a seat in the line, ready to make the industrial metal shine. The dropships touched down and the rams hit the sand as the Iron Fang battalion began to command. They saw our 5 mechs and they laughed through the lead, thinking the Warren's Ransom was already dead. Then the factory doors blew open and wide, with 20-ton Frankenmechs moving inside, ugly and bold, with a thunderous sound shaking the very foundations of the ground. Oh, it's the Agro-Mech awakening, the tool and the gun, fighting for the orchard in the heat of the sun, where the bolt and the hammer, where the grit and the rust, turning a tractor into a mercenary trust, where the brain and the muscle, the ace and the spark, lighting a fire in the middle of the dark. Elena led the charge in our marauders, Grace putting a sniper hole in every pilot's face. But the Agro-Mechs were the stars of the show, trading the harvest for a victory blow. Spark took a Jenna with the grain handling claw, the messiest takedown that the galaxy saw. The workers were shouting, the lasers were bright, as we turned the battalion into a retreat in the night. The smoke finally cleared and the orchard was saved, but the Iron Fang banners all broken and brave. But 5 of the Agro-Mechs were scrap on the floor, the price that we paid for winning the war. The Steiner Baron walked down with a frown, looking at the wreckage in his industrial town. He didn't say thank you, didn't offer a hand, just pulled out a ledger and a corporate demand. He looked at the destroyed Agro-Mechs, the ones that saved his billions, and he started doing math. He deducted the market value of every scrap heap from our paycheck. He charged us for the unauthorized use of his assembly line. By the time he was done, our high-paying contract was worth about as much as a used air filter. We saved his life, his factory, and his legacy, and we walked away with barely enough C-bills to pay for the welding fuel, hammer, and spark use. I looked at the Aztechs, their faces covered in soot and pride, and I didn't have the heart to tell them we were broke again. We left Oak Haven with a thank you that felt like a slap in a bank account that was screaming in pain, frustrated, that doesn't even cover it. But we learned one thing: a man with a wrench and a reason is worth 10 men with a paycheck.